What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Continuing on with our sharpening series. I've wrapped up the Worksharp guided sharpening system, the Viper Sharp sharpening system, and now I'm doing a quick video on the Worksharp Onion sharpening system with the belt grinder attachment. If you would, real quick, do me a favor, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. We got lots of great content, lots of information, educational information about knives if you're interested in that. And we feature a lot of really cool knives. The more people we have in the channel, the more stuff I can put out, the more sponsors we have. If you would, just throw me a like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Anyway, so this is the Onion Worksharp electric sharpening system, and I've had this system probably about a year ago. It was extremely useful. I ended up giving it to a member who was in need of a sharpener. He didn't have a sharpener, didn't have the means to acquire one, so I gave it to him. Worksharp has sent me this to kind of show you guys how it works and demonstrate it, and hopefully some of you guys will buy them. So this is the main unit. If you just bought the Onion Worksharp sharpening system, this is what you would get. It's a kind of a guided electric sharpening system. You can remove this very easily, and you can attach the belt grinder attachment, which we'll do in a minute. But I want to tell you the main things that I use this for. I use this for sharpening, number one, my kitchen knives. Number two, my working knives for the shop. I sharpen, sometimes I sharpen my chisels on this, and I sharpen my axes on here. The belt grinder attachment is perfect for sharpening axes, because axes are so much work to sharpen to get a really nice edge on because the blade's so thick. But I'm just going to demonstrate to you how well the how well it works on kitchen knives. So you determine what you want your angle to be at, and I have it at about 17.5, and that may be off by a hair, but it's close enough when you're talking about thin kitchen knives, because I've sharpened these on here before. But you follow this guided system here, you rub up against there. So the first thing you want to do first thing you want to do is plug the thing in, right? Let's see. Real live here, folks. Okay. So first thing, after you plug it in, you want to determine how fast you want this to go. Now, when you're sharpening, to me, you want slow speeds. You got to keep that blade cool. These blades are tempered, as most of you know. And if you run a blade across here fast and it heats up, you're going to lose your temper. It's going to be soft steel, and the knife is ruined. So what I do is turn it to the slowest speed. I have the diamond like honing belt on here. It doesn't take off a ton of metal. But for these thin blades, I found that that's all I need. If I have a thicker, like butcher knife or something like that, I'll put on a more aggressive blade and then step it down. So I have it set, that's wide open, but I can turn this knob right here, and I can go a lot faster, right? So I keep it all the way to the lowest speed, and then I pull it in, and there's a button you can lock it on. So you just want to take that across there, and slowly run across there, just fast enough where you're not building up any heat. You just easily guide it across there. We'll do one more. Very easy. I mean, anybody can do this. You can sharpen your EDC knives on here. I don't, but you can. I have a guided sharpening system, and I think that's more appropriate for your nicer knives. But for your work knives, this is perfect. Knives you're using quite a bit, especially before you go to cut up Christmas turkey or something like that. You want that knife good and sharp. You carve up a ham, brisket. This will get your knives really sharp, really fast. So you might have a little bit of a burr. But just to be sure, Chris Edwards makes these strops, and they're just basic, nothing to them. He makes multiple microns, but I load them down with compound. And then all it takes with these knives, these knives are not super hard. They're not super high quality knives like your EDC knives. These are cheaper steels, but for a kitchen knife, I just don't see a point in buying a high dollar knife. I can sharpen it really quickly. I sharpen it every time I go to use it, just about, unless I'm just cutting something up. But just running a few passes across that strop will ensure that you knocked off any burr that's on there. And then it's razor sharp. I'm not gonna go cutting paper and all that, but let me do this one too so I don't forget about it. But I believe this is a must. You don't want to have that wire on there, because that wire will get rolled over and then your knife is not sharp at all anymore. And the more you do this, I guarantee you, with this little bit softer steel than we're used to, the sharper your knife will get. Just glide it across there, right where that edge, that leading edge is just barely touching that leather. Doesn't take any pressure. Both those knives are razor sharp. Now if you want to go sharpen, let's say your axes or chisels or other things like that, or if you have some metal you're trying to manufacture, if you're trying to grind a piece of a bracket or something, you need this can really remove some metal if you want. If I can get it lined up right. This is, nothing ever goes right on camera, you know how that goes, but there it goes. Then I have a bag I keep my belts in. And we'll just pick one, it doesn't matter. Well, that one's used up quite a bit. So this one is a diamond, like a diamond stropping belt. Put that over there and squeeze this in, guide it down there, and just put it over that pulley, and there you go. So if you look over here, or where's it at? Right here. You can see what angle you're at. And these are not exact, but they can be exact for your tools. Once you keep sharpening your tools at that angle, and I have it written down what my chisels are at, what my axe is at. And I'm not gonna bring my axe in here, but I'll show you. I'll lock this down, just like your other one, and you have essentially a belt grinder. This helps you keep your blade flat, and this is where you bring it back and you keep checking it to make sure it's flat. This is your predetermined angle for your axe or whatever you're sharpening it, and you run your axe across there, right? Just like that. And you flip it over and do the same thing. Keep this helps you keep it flat. Sharpen it for a second, couple passes, come back and make sure you're flat. Sharpen it, come back, and this is always make sure you're flat so you can make sure that angle is correct. I use this attachment more than I use the sharpening attachment. That's great for kitchen knives and larger knives. This is also great for your hunting knives, all your fixed blade knives. It does really well. I haven't found, I can sharpen EDC knives on there, but I'm real particular about my knives because they're collector knives. But like I said, all of my working knives that I use regularly, I sharpen with this. And it's unbelievably handy for the price. This thing lasts forever. A lot of these belts, if you'll look at professional sharpeners, they have, a lot of these are diamond belts. They last a long time. You can sharpen a lot of tools without having to buy new belts. This thing altogether, I think, is a couple of $100, and that is a small investment for as long as you're going to be using it, because it's very versatile. But anyway, they sent that for me to show you guys, and I just wanted to show you, and that's what I use it for. If you ask me what I use it the most for, it's kitchen knives. We have lots of kitchen knives, and we do a lot of cooking here. So our knives go dull, and we don't have real expensive knives, so they require sharpening quite a bit. This does a fantastic job at that. But guys, I appreciate it. Like I said, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the like button, hit the dislike button. If you have any comments or something you sharpen on this that I didn't mention, please feel free to mention it in the comments. Always open for discussion. I read every comment on this group, on this page. And I appreciate you all watching. Y'all have a great evening. God bless you and your families.